Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. If you find your chicken after you stir frying, you find it to be bland in color, and you would like it to take on a slightly golden brown, or maybe even a little bit charring, then you come to the right video. I call my cooking system as the fast cooking system. It has 4 attributes, that is flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. But among the 4 attributes, flavor chasing is the most important. Because you want to cook the food that you love and enjoy. This is the only way to make your home cooking sustainable, because once you like the food that you cook, you would not want anybody else to cook for you. Because you would then leave fast and processed food behind, never give them another consideration. Today I'm going to show you a little trick how to make chicken by making a minor modification taste as good as ever. This trick is very simple. That is by coating the chicken with cornstarch before you cook them. Now, cornstarch is extracted from corn kernels. A corn kernel contains a lot of carbohydrate, mainly in the form of starch, which is important because when the corn starts to develop into a plant, it needs energy, and it draws energy from this starch before it becomes a plant and its own leaf so that it can undergo photosynthesis. A cornstarch is used in many different types of cooking, but the most frequently used for cornstarch is as a thickening agent. For example, cornstarch is often added to apple pie so that it can thicken the apple juice that comes from the apples. Now, flour can be also used as a thickening agent, but cornstarch behaves quite differently from flour. A cornstarch thickens faster in its rate in compared to flour, and for this reason, cornstarch is always used as a thickening agent in stir frying. The most common way to use cornstarch as a thickening agent is by creating a cornstarch suspension in water, and then you add it to the food ingredients in the wok. Cornstarch is a very effective thickening agent. By stirring the cornstarch into the food ingredients that contain fluid in the wok, under heating condition, the cornstarch will thicken rapidly. In this video, I'm going to show you another use of cornstarch to make food taste better, particularly in the case of chicken. Normally, when you stir fry chicken in the wok, the chicken tends to get dry and sometimes tough. Because the chickens are cut into small pieces and they are not protected by any other food ingredients when you first stir fry them. So the end result is that the heat will cause the chicken to overcook. To prevent that from happening, you can coat the chicken with a thin layer of cornstarch. This will serve as a buffer between the heat of the wok and the chicken, and the end result is that the heat is less intense, and consequently the chicken will cook at a slower rate, and the inside of the chicken will be moist and tender. And in some cases, you can stir fry the chicken directly as the way it is, just like you will stir fry chicken that's not been coated with cornstarch. But the modification of this method, known as shallow frying, is that you can fry the chicken on one side first in a small amount of cooking oil. Because cornstarch will function very similarly to flour, and you could produce a light, crispy outer surface. And this light breading will give the chicken much better flavor. So after you fry one side of the chicken, and you can turn it over to fry the other side. In this case, you only need to use a very small amount of cooking oil, and you basically can achieve similar results as you would with deep frying. So instead of using a wok spatula, this cooking method is best carried out by using a stainless steel tong. The tong will give you much better control over the chickens because you can flip them over individually. This method has many ramifications. It can improve the flavor of the chicken by mixing the cornstarch with a seasoning mix such as this basic seasoning mix. This seasoning mix is intended to enhance the natural flavor of the chicken, but you can use any seasoning mix that you would like to combine with the cornstarch. This method is extremely effective. It will greatly enhance the flavor of the chicken because the chicken will have a light crispy exterior, but the inside of the chicken is nice, moist, and tender. And by adding different amount of cornstarch, you can determine how thick you want the breading to be. And also, by adding a touch of sugar to the cornstarch, it will cause the sugar to caramelize, and this will give a blackened texture on the surface of the chicken. And the best sugar to add is the simple white sugar. The use of brown sugar or honey will cause the chicken feel sticky, and it will not be as crispy. This method is extremely flexible. You can make adjustment to what you're going to put into the cornstarch, and they will give you very different results. And this is the foundation of template-based cooking. This basic template allows you to make modifications to create variations. This method also works extremely well with other food ingredients, particularly with shrimp. In this case, in addition to use cornstarch, I also use fermented black soybean. The fermented black soybean gives the shrimp wonderful flavor when it encrusted onto the surface of the shrimp. So the basic template of this method is very simple, but it allows many possible modifications. And one modification I really enjoy is that I will add a hot pepper flakes into the cornstarch. Now, if you are allergic to corn, you can use this arrowroot. The arrowroot starch is very similar to cornstarch, and you can use it in a 1-to-1 substitution. I always have some arrowroot starch on hand because when I have friends who come to eat at my home, if they are allergic to corn, then I will use arrowroot starch instead. This method is a great approach to improve the flavor of your chicken. And by adjusting the amount of cornstarch that you use as well as what you put into the cornstarch, you have a lot of flexibility to create flavor of different types in your chicken. When you use my fast cooking system, you are not restricted by, in the case, say, a recipe. When you use template-based cooking, you have a lot of freedoms to make changes and substitutions. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine using my fast cooking system. If you want to learn more about this cooking system, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.